Hello everybody, happy Monday. Let's get into it. Starting off, got that same old warm-up. Give me feedback on it. Hopefully it's going well with this workout. If you don't feel sufficiently warmed up, make sure you go through this either a second time or do some extra stuff, because today's workout is going to be all about test outs. So we want to make sure that we're as warm as possible, make sure your body is as functional as possible. So make sure you have a little bit of a glaze going, decent sweat, get the heart rate up a little bit. Big thing with what we got today with test outs, basically we're just measuring a bunch of benchmarks. In between the tests, you want to make sure you're getting the amount of rest that you need and make sure you're able to fully commit to the test, because we're trying to push you here to basically to exhaustion, or pushing you till max failure, as many reps as we can get with as much quality as we can get. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests we're going to go through. If you want, you can pause, take a look at them, read some notes here, kind of what I just said. We want max effort, and again, get the rest that you need in between tests, because we're going to try and beat you up here a little bit, and again, get as much out of you as possible. So, talking about it, first one we're going to have is a 3-minute step test. First of all, I do want to say, if you've ever done any sort of benchmark testing before, these are going to be modified from what we traditionally do, just to make them a little bit more friendly for what we're doing at home. Okay, so first one, a 3-minute step test. You're going to want something that's around 12 inches. If you don't have something that's 12 inches, use your staircase, use something, anything. When we come back to this a little bit later, a couple weeks or months, however long this quarantine is going, you just want to make sure that you use the same piece of equipment. So if you're using a step on your stair, use a step on a stair again. Anyway, around 12 inches if possible. Fortunately for me, I happen to have a 12-inch plyo box. So with a 3-minute step test, got your stopwatch in hand, get the tunes blaring. Basically what we want out of this is as many times up and down as you can. Okay, up and down gets you 1 rep. Both feet are going to touch the top of the box. Both feet are going to touch the floor. So when you start your stopwatch, we're going to go up, up, down, down, up, down, down. So that's 3, 4, and again, want to make sure you get your whole foot on the box, drive through the heel, as many reps as you can get in 3 minutes. Keep track of that, write it in a notebook, make a note tab in your phone, because when we come back to this in weeks or months, ideally, we're going to beat it. Okay, we want to get more steps the next time we do this. That's going to help to make sure we're getting in better muscular endurance shape, if you will. Okay, from there, we're going to go a push-up till failure test. So again, we're going to follow a sort of cadence here. Once again, if you have a 12-inch box or something that will suffice, we're going to use that just to give the exercise a little bit more integrity, give you a little bit more focus on the form. So basically, again, 12 inches up. This is, like I said, just going to help us to get more reps out of this. We're going to have an aiming point, trying to get our chest basically right to the box, making sure that our hips stay in line with our torso as well. So, again, the cadence that we're following is going to be basically down, pause, press. Down, pause, press. That's going to make sure we're not rushing. That's going to make sure our hips don't start moving before our upper body, things like that. So, same concept here. This time we aren't going for time. Basically, this one will be till failure. And after you're done with this one, you'll jot down how many reps you knock out. So, down, pause, press. Down, pause, press. Down, pause, press. Okay, so if you knock out 100 reps in a row, awesome. Write down 100 reps. If you only get 4 or 5, great. Okay, if you don't have this piece of equipment, all right, something that you can do an elevated push-up on, then we'll just do our modified push-up from our knees. We just want to make sure that to maintain the validity of the test, our hips need to travel forward on that push-up. So if we're doing something like this, we can't count it, all right? Focus on getting your pelvis to the floor, chest drops, 1. Pause, press, 2. Down, pause, press, 3. So once again with that, if you're pushing from the knees, get as many reps in a row as you can. Once you hit failure, stop, write it down. We'll come back to it in a couple weeks or months. So that takes second test away. Next one is going to be a 3-minute sit to stand. So you're going to want your stopwatch or timer again. We're going to come back to our box, okay? Or whatever you were using as a step, okay? If you have the mobility for the 12-inch box, great. We're going to use that. Okay, if you don't have that mobility, then we'll bump it up a little bit. This gets me 14. I have another side that'll get me 16. But again, want to make sure that when we do this again in weeks or months, make sure you use the same height that you did last time. So same concept as that step test. Basically, we're going to squat, sit on the box. We're going to go squat, pause, stand. Squat, pause, stand. Again, trying to maintain a proper cadence. So nice tall chest, heel pressure, squat, pause, stand. 1, squat, pause, stand. 2. Okay, so maintaining that cadence, as many reps as you can get in your 3 minutes. Basically, just by maintaining cadence, we want to make sure that we're not getting something like, and you're getting all sloppy with it because you're in a rush. We want to make sure that we have proper form all the way through, tall chest, heel pressure, etc., etc. As many quality reps as you can get in your 3 minutes. Get it done, write it down. If you hit 200 reps, write down 200. Okay, you get the idea. After that, we're going to test out the abs a little bit. We're going to do a curl up test. So, curl up, generally what we would do is we would measure a 4-inch strip of tape or whatever. The tape would start at my middle finger and it would extend 4 inches towards my toes. Okay, we're going to have about a 90-degree bend in the knees. From here, elevate the chest, shoulder blades come up, down, up, pause, down, up, pause, down, up, pause, down. So that little pause, got to keep the abs engaged. This one is also going to be for failure, not for time. So we're going to constitute failure as if you're not able to get right into that next rep, you need to take an extra breath. That's a failure. Okay, so what we need, up, pause, down, up, pause, down. If we go and we're not able to get right into that next rep, that's your failure. If you get 2 in a row, write down 2 in a row, move along. Okay, if you get 40 in a row, excellent, mark it down, move along. Last test, but not least, will be a prone double leg straight, prone double straight leg raise. A little bit of a mouthful here. So it's basically going to be our Superman, but keeping our top section, our hands, our chest on the floor. We're just going to focus on elevating our legs, making sure our knees remain off the floor. Okay, this one is going to be timed, so you're going to want to have your stopwatch in your hand. Once you pick your legs up, you'll start it, and you'll hold as long as you can. Once you fail, stop your time, and that'll end the test, or write your time down. So, stopwatch in hand, 3, 2, 1, go. Knees are up, squeeze the butt, keep the legs as straight as possible. We're going to hold as long as you possibly can. Once your knees basically come back in contact, stop your time, record it. That'll end your test. Okay, so that is our 5 benchmark tests. That's going to give us a bunch of reps to focus on for the next time. It'll give us a bunch of times to focus on for the next time. Like I said, we'll revisit this in a couple weeks, couple months. The idea is we get more push-ups, we get more squats, we get more steps, etc., etc. One more time, you want to make sure that when you're moving test to test, take 2, 4, 6 minutes, however much you need, because again, we want to make sure we have your best effort during those tests. Now, moving on, family time will come after. So here we go, a little bit of pause here. Basically, we're going to have 5 cardio exercises, going to get the heart rate pumping, going to get the sweat up. 35 seconds on, 25 seconds off. We're going to go through the list 2 to 3 times. Okay, so if you were just able to breeze through this, that only took you 5 minutes. You're probably going to want to go through this list more like 3 times. If this really crushed you, probably only want to do like 2 times. So 35 seconds, going as hard as you can. 25 seconds of rest, decent amount of time. And we're just moving on to that next exercise. So first exercise, jumping jacks. You know them, you love them. Big reach, big split. Many as we can get in our 35. If you need to mod it, step out, step back in. You get the idea. From there, we're going to get a speed lunge jump. All right, going to focus on one side for the first 35. Your next 35 will focus on the other side. So extend, small bend in the knee, up, extend, small bend. And we're just going here as hard as we can, 35 seconds. As we drop down, we want to make sure that front heel remains in contact with the floor. So get a nice big step backwards. Take your 25, do 35 on that other leg, okay? Exercise 4 then, gotta be mountain climber. Hard as we can go. From that prone position, drive the knee up through the elbow. Quick, 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 quick. Big switches, big range of motion. If you're able, get the knee bow through the elbow. Many of those as you can get in your 35. Lastly, we're gonna get the hamstrings a little bit. We're just going Frankenstein kicks. All right, what we're trying to do is keep a nice rhythm. Kick, down, kick, down, kick, down. As many of these as we can get in your 35. Then once again, 25 seconds off, take it back to your jumping jacks, work through the list. Again, If you have it in you, go for 3. If you're really getting crushed, stop at 2. Okay? Depending on how long the test out took you and your family time, if there's time, we'll get into a third section. If this already took you an hour and 10 minutes, we can call it a day. Go get into it if you want. So we're gonna have basically 4 isometric holds. Okay, you're gonna have a half push-up hold till failure, half squat hold till failure, half sit-up hold till failure, and then an elevated glute bridge, guess what, until failure. So your half push-up hold, get here, halfway point, hold, hold, think about how much fun the workout was, hold, continue to breathe until you fail, you plop down, you need to rest on your knees, etc. Okay, half squat hold, get the idea, toes forward, drop the hips, hold, hold, hold. If you're too much of a machine and this is easy, you want to add a little bit of a pulse to it, go for it, as many of those as you can get until failure. You're then going to move along, half sit-up hold, heels stay in contact with the floor, find your halfway point, chest stays nice and tall, breathe, breathe, breathe. If you want to juice this one up a little bit, you want to hold the dumbbell, there's some sort of weight over your head, gallon of milk, go for it, give the abs a little bit more work. Last but not least will be an elevated glute bridge hold. So go back to your step or whatever you used, heels up from here, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as hard as we can, press the hips up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as hard as you can, okay, until you hit that failure point. Once you knock out those 4 isometrics, get into your cool down, stretch out the glutes, the hammies, the quads, the rotational stuff. Questions, concerns, feedback, drop in the comments, like, share, all that good stuff. Don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions. But again, these test outs, going to do them again in a couple weeks. Make sure you're doing max effort. Make sure you record them. That way we have a target to beat next time as well. Take care, everybody.